In the early 1600s, more than a century after the arrival of Europeans to the Americas, the demand of unpaid labor to work plantations made the slave trading a profitable business. The peak time of the slave ship in the Atlantic Passage was between the 18th and the early 19th centuries, when the plantations were developed in the southern colonies of North America. The slave ships were also known as Guineamen because the trade involved human trafficking to and from the Guinea coast of West Africa. To ensure profits, the owners of the ship would convert their hulls into holds with little headrooms so that they could transport as many slaves as possible by chaining, cramming, and grouping them to maximize the space. Condition on board ship during the Middle Passage was appalling. The men were packed together below the deck and were secured by leg irons. Unhygienic conditions, dehydration, dysentery, and scurvy led to a high mortality rate, on average 15% and up to a third of captives. The space was so cramped that they were forced to crouch or lie down. Women and children were kept in separate quarters, sometimes on deck, allowing them limited freedom of movement. But this also exposed them to violence and sexual abuse from the crew. The air in the hold was foul and putrid. Sickness was common and the heat was oppressive. The lack of sanitization and suffocating conditions meant that there was a constant threat of disease. Epidemics of fever, dysentery, and smallpox were frequent. Captives endured these conditions for about 2 months, sometimes longer. Today's book of discussion is also entitled as The Slave Ship. In The Slave Ship, award-winning historian Marcus Rediker draws on 30 years of research in maritime archives to create an unprecedented history of these vessels and the human drama acted out on their rolling decks. He reconstructs in chilling details the lives, death, and the terror of captains, sailors, and the enslaved aboard a floating dungeon trailed by sharks. Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope that you liked it. Thank you.